Hello everyone, and welcome back to Morrowind. As you might be able to tell, we survived that drop. We fought our way back out, because apparently saving in the middle of a dungeon and then reloading the save respawns all the monsters. I did not know this. Real quick mod talk before we get started. You may recall that in the last video I was kind of moaning about how we have all these super expensive weapons. We have, $10,000, $10,000, and, 48, where's the value? $48,000, $30,000, and there is nobody in the world who has that kind of money. And I was saying, it's ridiculous that we have so many good things and nobody has money. And so, as a kind of stopgap measure, it's not perfect by any means, I've installed a mod called Arthmore's Morrowind Merchants. It puts 3 merchants in, I think, Balmora, Vivek, and Mournhold, who have 50,000 gold each. And they respawn. Now, it's, like I said, it's a stopgap measure because these merchants, they're not really immersive. I mean, you have this one guy in Balmora, he's standing around he's standing around in town square, and he's wearing full Daedric armor, and I'm just going like, this does not fit in, almost. I mean, yeah, you have Diveth Fear, or whatever his name is, and he has full Daedric, but just have to some random mook standing around selling his stuff in Balmora is kind of immersion breaking for me. I might find another mod in the meantime, but that's one I've settled on, because it's not just give the creeper more gold, or what I'd really like is to have a mod where it's like every merchant has that at least half 50,000, so it's not you're selling everything for full price, but at the same time it's not I don't know how to phrase it. So it's not every merchant has 50,000 gold, but that everyone has at least enough to buy, one really expensive item, because that would make it so that, there, with all these expensive items going around, there must be money in the system somewhere to buy them. I've also installed, on the recommendation of one of my viewers, I've installed a mod called Move or Take My Place, which allows me to basically talk to any NPC and say, hey, shove off so I can move past you. I've also installed something called Cast on Use Be Gone. Most of the items in Morrowind are cast on use. You go down here to the item menu, say, okay, I want to cast the Belt of Northern Nuknuk, and then you use it. The problem is, I almost never use that. I don't go to this. I tend to rely on my hotkeys on the magic items. I very rarely go to the magic items when I need to cast spells. And so what Cast on Use Be Gone does is it takes most of the items that are cast on use, stuff like, where was it? It was an amulet. Stuff like this. The Amulet of Stamina I picked up at the end of last episode was cast on use, restore 5 fatigue, which is useful. It's a nice little boost for if you're low on fatigue and you want to have that instant boost. However, I don't think in terms of I need to quickly open my menu, navigate to the Amulet of Stamina, equip that, and then cast as many times as I need stamina. I'd much rather have a smaller effect that's constant. So this thing, instead of being, you use it and you get stamina back, it's you equip it and it automatically starts restoring your stamina. It does the same thing for most of the items. So like the boost of blinding speed were already constant effects, so it doesn't change that at all. However, stuff like the boost of the Apostle, those were levitate, I think, 30 to 40 on use. This makes it levitate 30, constant effect. It makes it a smaller effect, but a constant one, so that you can just say, I want to always be able to levitate, so I'm going to put those on right now. There's also a few mods I've installed to basically improve the beast races in Morrowind. I've noticed that the Morrowind graphics and sound overhaul doesn't cover them very well, and so I've installed new beast bodies, the clean version, Way's Argonians, which is a texture mod for them, and Durnay's Beast animations. This will make them move, look, and act much more fluidly. And also, probably the biggest mod I've installed is less generic NPCs. This is a massive undertaking to basically... You might have noticed that as I'm playing, I'm basically skipping past what people are saying because, honestly, there's a lot of repetition in Morrowind. It's like, if you ask what a bard does... Rather, if you ask a person in... Let's say you have two bards. One in Pelagiad, one in Nisis. If you ask them what they do, they will give you word for word the exact same text. Less generic NPCs works to make it so that people are, well, less generic. So that they have distinct dialogue and personalities, and also some quests. It's a big mod which I hope will help me get immersed in Morrowind a bit more than I already am. At least immersed in the NPCs. So that's all I have to say for today. We'll get back to you in the episode.